All right. I think we're live. If we weren't live, we couldn't do this.
No, couldn't do this.
You can only do this when you're live. Look at that. See how that? Look at that. A lot of people can't do that.
Good mythical.
Good mythical. First big announcement is we're changing everything. It's mythical. It's in honor of our good friend Mitch.
Mitch is going to be coming in here, and he's going to be hanging out with us. You're going to be seeing a lot of Mitch. So much so that we're changing the name of the show.
Good mythical afternoon.
Good mythical live stream. It's happening. This is live. You're watching. We're talking. We got some novels here. We're going to sign these. If you buy a copy of The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek within the course and boundary of this live stream, you have a chance of us personalizing the book that you're purchasing. We're going to
do it right here live.
We're going to be giving names of people who are buying books right now, and we're going to sign them.
I think that website is on the screen, but what is that website again?
Live.bleakcreek.com.
Live.bleakcreek.com. That's where you're going to make the purchase. Again, that's the only way to get a personalized copy today.
Unless you want to change your name to Mitch, and then I'll personalize it at any time.
Well, lots of these will be going out to Mitch.
But you also have to have a face tattoo that says, "Yes, I changed my name to Mitch."
And it has to be on your. Oh, you said face tattoo, right? Yeah.
Yeah, face tattoo. Typically,
I once got a face tattoo on my butt, and I have lots of regrets about that.
You got a tattoo of a face on your butt?
No, I got a tattoo that should have been on my face. That was the joke. It wasn't a great one. Okay, we're going to answer some questions from the Mythical Society, now forever known here henceforth as the Mythical Society.
And then we'll also answer your questions in the chat. So if you have some questions, we'll get to those in just a second.
Please fill the chat with questions, but we'll get started with Mythical Society ones.
Garen Kasdorf, a.k.a. Mitch, asks, how different was it writing a book like The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek compared to a book like The Book of Mythicality? It was very different.
Well, they were both in English.
That's true. So, in that way, it was the same.
Yep.
We knew that ultimately they'd both be pages bound, printed and bound.
Yeah, they're both. We had to select fonts for both of them. How are they different, though? Well, one is nonfiction and one is fiction.
And it was many years when I got that confused. But The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek is a made-up story, which does pull heavily from our shared experience.
And that's what makes it confusing.
In Bowie's Creek.
That's what makes it confusing, because while it is a novel, it is to some extent, based on Mitch's life, as well as Rhett and Link's life. Well, and I would say that we didn't exactly know when we were writing the Book of Mythicality, we didn't know exactly how many of the ideas that we had would make it onto the page and in the chapters and what order they would be in. It was just like, this is an idea. I think this represents mythicality. Do we have some kind of story from our past that we can weave this together? And we would greenlight it. And then once we had all those laid out, which I think we probably had like 30 to 35 ideas, we pared that down to the 20 or so that ended up making the actual chapters in the Book of Mythicality. Whereas in The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek, it was very much like, this is the story, outline the entire thing, and then write into the outline according to the outline.
Yeah, so we had fully outlined the story, and then as we started writing the beginning, we were still the outline was subject to change. So there's some give and take there. Whereas with the Book of Mythicality, each chapter was pretty much standalone.
Right. Modular is the word that I use.
Modular. Like a home.
And the book, the Bleak Creek book, isn't as modular.
Sophia Solferino asks us...
First of all, great name. Not as good as Mitch, but a great name.
A better middle name is Mitch.
You should be a reporter, but probably an anchor. You should definitely be an anchor.
So a future, every anchor starts as a reporter.
Sophia,
you're going in and out. I'm sorry, Sophia, we can't hear you. You're going to have to...
I think this is meteorologist material, though. And now we're going to hand it over to get the latest on Hurricane Dorian from Sophia Soferino. Has there been a Dorian? Yeah.
Did you consider any other names
Hurricane Mitch
for the book
coming in hot.
before landing on the final one?
We did, and in fact, I was just searching my phone for a note. I remember
What were we gonna call it? I don't remember.
No, we went through a bunch of them. Like I had a note that had a bunch of words that had a negative connotation because we knew it was going to be. Well, first of all, at one point it was called Bowie's Creek, and then when we changed it to something else Creek, we were like, let's do something that's a little bit tongue in cheek, but it sounds like maybe a little bit negative. We looked at like Twisted Creek and Dark Creek, and
That's right.
And truth be told, some of these things were already series. Like
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, Dawson's Creek is Hurricane Mitch was in October 22nd, 1998 to November 9th. Wow, that's quite a spread.
Mitch likes to spread.
So, but we ended up with Bleak Creek because it hadn't been done before, and it rhymes. And it also keeps the BC that we were so familiar with in Bowie's Creek intact.
And the Lost Causes, I mean, for that, you just got to read the book to know why that's part of the title.
I think at one point it was going to be called, we had, Lost Causes was one of the, Lost Causes.
Just the title.
Just the title.
Yeah.
And then we had it, and then we put it together. It became what it was.
Ripley Morgan asks us.
Well, first of all, you should be Ripley Morgan. Wow, you could be lots of things with a name like that.
Like a mail carrier.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, a postal worker is what I was thinking.
Comedy and horror / thriller can be a tricky marriage of genres. Did you intend to balance the two or give the spotlight to one? And did that original intent survive through to the finished product?
That's a great question for a postal worker to ask.
That's a good question.
You know?
Well, they're driving around, delivering communication.
They're thinking constantly. If you're a postal worker, you have to make a choice. Am I going to be the kind of postal worker that just has a brain fart all day and basically just like, I'm just delivering mail, not thinking about anything? And then if you're like Ripley Morgan, you're sitting there and you're just thinking about things about how to make yourself better, how to make the world better. You're figuring out mathematical equations and you're thinking about philosophical ideas on a higher level than the people that you're delivering mail to. That's what's happening in Ripley Morgan's truck.
You could be writing a novel in your own mind.
But to answer your question,
like we did.
We knew that we wanted it to be scary, and we knew that it had to be funny. You ain't gonna get something from us that's not funny, right? And it turned.
And when you combine those two, you get sunny.
Sunny. It's a very sunny book.
Scunny. Scary and funny. Funny and thriller. Filler.
Be careful
just
now.
Filler.
I wasn't that nervous about them coming together because some of my favorite. And I would say this happens most often in movie form. There are some books that do it, but like you take like Stephen King's It, the book. It's not that it's not funny, but the movie is a lot funnier than the book.
If you want us to sign a book, personalize it for you, you got to buy it right now.
Yeah, at live.bleakcreek.com. We're not going to personalize any. And right now, I think we're just waiting on somebody to buy one.
We did crash their site.
Oh, we crashed the site. That's what happened.
So just tell everyone thank you for being patient. It should be back up.
Way to go. You crashed their site, which means everybody loses. Like, literally. I mean, it's not... we might win because we get to... Hey, we crashed the site, guys. Hey, we crashed the site. This is cool.
It's so like 2011.
It's a bit frustrating.
Jordan Peele has paved the way for comedy and horror coming together, and people love it. So we were like, yeah, we can do this. And in fact, we actually ended up pulling back the comedy a little bit because there were just some sections of the book where we had a really funny idea for some funny dialogue or a funny circumstance to happen, and it just felt like it took away from where you really needed to be in the story.
Yeah.
So I think we struck a balance.
But, I mean, there were a lot of horror movies that had comedy.
We have a winner!
Oh, we got one?
Wyatt Murray!
Wyatt Murray.
You've done it again, Wyatt. With a name like that, you know what you
Who needs
seem
Mitch?
like? You seem like the first person to win a personalized copy of our novel, The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek. Now make it out to Wyatt Murray. Just make it out to Wyatt. He knows who he is.
Hey, Wyatt. Well, should I put read your mythical best?
You should give him a joke with his name in it.
Hey, Wyatt. Why not read this? You bought it.
Wyatt not read this. You got to use the whole name. Wyatt not read this. You bought it. I like that.
Wyatt not read this. You bought it.
And you want my? I'll come in. I'll come in here and
Hey, Wyatt.
put the RHETT.
Put the RHETT right there.
Love, RHETT, and link.
Yeah, love. Love.
Love.
Love.
Love with a capital L.
Love. Oh, gosh. Okay, yeah, that made it better. All right, there's one. Hey, Wyatt.
Wyatt not read this. You bought it. Love, RHETT, and link.
All right, so that,
You know what?
to
To make up for lost time, not lost causes, I'm going to go ahead and do another one, Link, because we're going to do one every 5 minutes, and it's already been more than 5. Laura Luke! Laura Luke! You are our next winner.
Thank you, Laura, for buying the book. I was saying that historically, there's lots of scary movies that are also have funny elements, but like Evil Dead 2. You know how funny that one is.
Hilarious.
Haven't seen it. But we did. I mean, we talked a lot about it, the first installment. Did you mention that as a movie? Because it was really funny. Another question. Grace Anna Davis, what made you guys choose high school freshmen as the age group for your characters as opposed to adults or elementary aged kids? I definitely know that we look back on the months leading up to our freshman year of high school as being such an exciting time. It's like we find ourselves going back there in our minds a lot. So
Look what I did there.
hey, Laura, congrats! You didn't rest on your laurels. Best.
I went with best. I'm not going to do love for everything. Sometimes you just got to say best.
Laura, that's for you because you bought a book, live.bleakcreek.com.
You didn't rest on your laurels.
Here it is.
Continue, Link.
What was I saying? I was saying...
Saying a lot of time east.
Going into our freshman year of high school is a time that we go back to in our memories a lot. There's so... It represents so much promise, new beginnings, hopes that can be dashed for the sake of a dramatic novel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why didn't we choose to make the characters adults or to make them younger children?
Well, the beginning, the first idea that we ever had about the novel was doing something that focused on the young version of ourselves. So we knew we were going to do kids of some age. And I think that transition between 8th grade and high school for us represented it was the biggest transition in our lives because we went through to the same school. You went from kindergarten through 8th grade. I went from 1st grade to 8th grade.
Mm-hmm, yep.
In this little tiny building in Buies Creek. And then we had to go over to Harnett Central to the big school where you
Had to go.
and
Had to grow up.
so we liked we were more excited than fearful about that transition. At least I was. You may have been a little bit. Were you scared at that time about going to high school?
Not any more than anything else. So low-level fear across the board, probably.
But it just seemed like it represented a little bit of the unknown, and which really ties in with the theme of the book, which is, what do you not know about this town that you've been living in all your life?
Rose Black asks, was there anything in particular you think helped you write teenage characters more realistically? It was important that, that what happens in the novel was grounded. That, like, you know, there's some crazy things that happen.
But people's reactions to them,
right, but the way that people reacted to
realistic.
them and the way that all the characters dealt with them, it was very important that everything, you know, that it made sense, to kind of counteract the fact that there was, I mean, you know, I don't want to give any spoilers at this point.
Give a spoiler. Don't give a spoiler.
Yeah, there's some things that I hope are impossible that do happen, but I'm not going to say that they can't happen. That's not a spoiler.
In fact, you said nothing. Well, one of the things that made it easier to write teenage characters is the fact that we were writing versions of ourselves, right? So we were drawing on the way that our relationship was when we were that age and the way that we interacted, and so we were able to kind of
we don't act
capture-
much differently now, so it's like.
And I think we projected quite a bit of the way what we now understand about ourselves as adults, projecting that back on the kids, Rex and Leaf, because when you are a kid, like when you're making that transition from 8th to 9th grade, when you're 14 years old, at least we did not know a whole lot about ourselves. We could not have described ourselves very well. We could not have described each other's strengths and weaknesses very well in the way that we can now. So it actually, I think knowing who we were and the way we thought about life, but then knowing what we know about ourselves now and being able to weave that into the characters made it easier. Also, being the parents of teenagers doesn't hurt. Lauren O'Brien.
You know what? Is that another question?
Because I made it sound like it was a winner. I'm sorry, Lauren. We just selected your question, but we could do another winner.
No, Veronica.
Veronica
Watson, this book is being personalized for you because you just bought it at live.bleakcreek.com. We want to thank 1-800-CEO-READ.
Everything good back there technically? I saw panic.
No, everything's good now. 1-800-CEO-READ and Porchlight are making this possible. This real-time personalization
I thought you were making a joke, but then I realized that you were not. 1-800-CEO-READ or Porchlight is a vendor we teamed up with to make this all possible.
Yeah,
That's not a joke. That's real.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make so many things up that it's difficult to know when we're not making things up.
Veronica, enjoy this novel. We worked hard on it.
How are you going to get Veronica into that?
I was not going to do that, but we should, huh? You really set a standard. I guess I started it. Veronica.
You're gonna Veronica. Veronica gonna wanna keep reading this. I mean, that's just a rhyme.
Once you start, you're gonna wanna.
You're gonna wanna. Yeah. Once you start, you're never gonna stop.
Once you start,
Okay.
you're never gonna.
While you're saying that, I will answer the question from Lauren O'Brien. Not a winner, but we are asking your question.
Wanaika. Nope.
That could be anything. I can't read half of that, but you know that it happened. What was your favorite part of the book writing process?
You're never gonna wanna stop.
I don't know how, some people say that when you're like writing a song or you're working on something artful or some work of fiction.
Kind of mess that up a little bit.
You know what? I'll fix it.
You're never gonna wanna. You're never. Enjoy this novel. Once you start, you're never gonna wanna stop.
Yeah, we'll just close that. That's good. See what you think about this theory. Some people think, and this is all in service of answering Lauren O'Brien's question about what the best part of writing was. Some people think that anytime you're doing any sort of creative thing, that you are channeling something that actually exists, right?
And let's see the chat room now.
That, like if you're writing a song, you're really just discovering a song that exists and you're channeling it and bringing it into the world. I don't know if that's true or not. But there is a certain element, even though we had the entire story outlined, when you're in the process of writing, you're having to make choices. You've got to get from point A to point B to point C, and then you've got to make creative choices. You've got to decide what somebody said, what somebody thought, what somebody's wearing, where they're going, that kind of thing. And there's something about those details feeling like they're coming from nothing, and then all of a sudden there is a story that has unfolded on the page. That's my favorite part of writing.
Mia Pennington bought a book. We're going to personalize this one for her.
Mia wanna.
Take it from Mia.
You're gonna.
And
Mia's
Emma.
so easy. You got to put it in three to four times.
Take it from
Take
Mia.
it from Mia.
And Hema.
Mia thinks you are gonna love this book, and don't make me a fool.
Take it from Mia and Hema.
Mia thinks.
Wea thinks.
Wea thinks. Well, that's not really her name, but I see you're going with a theme. Wea thinks you're gonna enjoy this book. Don't make me a fool. You don't even have to put anything in there. Just
Wea thinks you're gonna enjoy a Nope. Gonna enjoy this book.
can we slow the chat down?
Don't make us.
Slow-moded.
Don't make me a. Don't make me a.
Oh, that
come,
thank you for doing
come
that.
and.
Okay.
Don't make.
It looks like a few people, including Teresa Adams, are complaining about the site being down, but I think that it's coming up
It's coming back up.
slowly.
Live.bleakcreek.com.
It's like when you've been sitting on the toilet for too long, and you get up and you're like, "What has happened to my right leg? Do I still have it? Oh, there it is. Why is it not behaving? Why can't I feel it?" Slowly but surely, as you begin to stumble your way out into the rest of the house and try to hide the fact that you're
Don't make me a fool.
limping,
Don't make a fool out of Mia.
don't make Mia a fool.
Me a fool.
Me a fool, yeah. Don't make me a fool. That's the site is basically, that's what's happening to the site. The site sat on the commode too long, and now it's up and it's scrambling around the house trying to make its way back to the kitchen. And you got to give it time.
Rachel asks, what age group is the target audience for this book?
It's 94 and up.
We wrote it for, there's not an upper limit, but I would say that, like, there are some semi-disturbing scenes that for the younger reader, I
There's
think
some light cursing, if you're into that kind of
there's
thing.
some light cursing, and then there's some perilous scenes for the younger reader who you might want to wait a little bit. This is not Sorcerer's Stone. This is the next one. What's the next one? Chamber of Secrets. It's not Chamber of Secrets, but you can probably. That one. That's where people start dying. When do people in Harry Potter start dying?
It's probably, I would say the fourth one.
The fourth one.
Fourth one is when it starts getting dark at the end of it. Yeah.
All right. What's the fourth one?
The fourth one is the
Keep
Goblet of
scrolling.
Fire.
Goblin of Fire. If you can't take Goblin of Fire, you don't want Lost Causes of Bleak Creek. So children, hold your horses. Stick with your little three other Harry Potter.
Goblin of Fire?
Goblets.
Goblin of Fire. Yeah.
Drinking fire.
I haven't seen it, and I know that it's Goblet.
I'm reading Sorcerer's Stone
can you
to my
scroll the
Lando
chat?
right now. Actually, he just finished it. He just finished Sorcering Stone. Moving on to Goblin.
Okay, now
Got
slow
two
it down.
more before that.
Yeah.
Water Lemons. What is the genre? It's a dark and funny novel in that order. It gets the more you read, the darker it gets.
I'd say it's a thriller.
It's a thriller with some humorous elements.
And it's
Drake Van Scoy gets a personalized copy because he just bought one at live.
and it takes place in the 90s, so it's a period piece. Takes place in 1992. Drake. How do you feel about that name now?
Drake.
Somebody asked, what would you rate the book from G to R?
I'd rate it
Well, that's not how books work anymore. I'd say it's safely PG-13. Except for that one NC-17 page. That doesn't happen. Just kidding. PG-13. It's PG-13.
Hey, Drake, why don't you drake your eyes across these pages? Nope, it's like rake. Drake it. Drake, like the duck.
Is that a male duck?
Yeah.
Drake, just like a male duck, may you descend on these pages. May you, like a duck landing on water. I want him to be.
It doesn't have to be a male duck to land on the water.
But his name is Drake, so we need to call out the male duck, just as a male duck would do in search of a mate. May you commune with this book. Oh wow! No, we don't want him to do that. Just say whatever you want to.
Drake's are the more ornate duck. Am I right?
Justin, why? How much of your personalities have been reflected onto the characters? This is a good question. Now, I think some people, including Rhett and Link, that's us, are going to be like, guys, why did you write a book and it's basically the characters are you? Can't you do one thing that's not all about you guys? Well, it remains to be seen, first of all. But also, because the starting point was how do you do something that melds the real sort of 90s small town North Carolina that we grew up in with some fictional element. We never even got past that. In fact, the characters were named Rhett and Link at some point, up until the fact that we just got so we were annoying ourselves to such a degree by referring to the characters in the book and saying I or you when we were discussing a scene and trying to figure out what we were going to do. That we were like, we need to separate these characters from us, and also that gave us the freedom to make them a little bit different. So this is a very small example of that, but Link got glasses when he was an adult, but in the book, Leaf has just gotten glasses right before he goes into high school, because we're kind of projecting, and this isn't a personality trait, this is just the fact that, okay, well, you guys know Link as a guy who wears glasses, so Leaf is going to wear glasses, which means he's going to wear glasses in the book when he's 14 years old. Just a small thing like that. But I think personality-wise, they're exaggerated versions. They're sensationalized versions of who we are and who we were.
But the glasses themselves are not. Hi, Manny. Drake, just as a duck lands on water, so your eyes shall gently float on these pages.
That's good. I like that.
We could do any duck. Boy, this is really happening. DEA Swix says this can't be real.
Well, I think we just proved it.
It's real, unless you're not real, and then we might not be real.
Michael,
maybe you're the only thing that is real, and this is all a figment of your imagination.
That's true, and that could be confirmed by the fact that now we're talking directly to you, DEA Swix. Michael Bova, did you have a plan on writing a novel throughout your lives, or was this an endeavor created after your successes with GMM? Thanks for the compliment, first of all.
You fancied yourself a novel writer.
Let me write this. Let me do this one, but I'm just gonna wait for a second.
Okay. You want to start it?
Yeah, I just want to wait. I want to answer the question, and then I want to get to the name that we're about to write. Well,
listen, I'm just going. You want me? Can I tell him what the name is, just because you're being so childish?
I mean, there's nothing on you.
His name is Michael. Michael ordered a book just now at live.bleakcreek.com. We're going to personalize it. Michael's last name is Biggerstaff.
Yeah.
Rhett's pretty worked up about it.
Yeah. I did begin writing a novel
Biggerstaff
when I was How old was I when I first started writing that novel? They all went to the edge of the canyon, and then I reached,
cows.
I reached a chasm in my own story when they reached the chasm in the story.
Yeah.
And I just stopped writing the book at that point. If you have an idea for a novel and in it a group of characters travels to a chasm and you have no idea what's on the other side of the chasm,
It's
that's a
over.
great place to stop writing your book.
Yeah.
Michael Biggerstaff. Dearest Michael.
Let's see. A lot of you guys are just writing things like, "What's that? Say hey to me." "Oh, hey. Hello from Chattanooga, Tennessee." Let's see. They're moving kind of fast. Bear with me. Brittany C's asking, when are any ladies gonna win a book? I thought some ladies ordered. Veronica, Mia, Catherine Armstrong's asking me to smile. Have I not smiled yet? I'm saving it. Micah Boger says, I haven't watched you guys in ages. And now that you're watching this, we're trying to get you to buy a book. Perfect timing. Buy the book, man. Welcome back into the fold. We're always here. Not that much changed since you've been gone. Except the things you wanted to change, and they're different. Dearest Michael, may your staff grow even bigger along with your library.
I said ever bigger, not even bigger.
Well, that's cooler.
It's I'm speaking poetically. Dearest Michael, may your staff grow ever bigger along with your library. Sincerely, Rhett and Link. You walk right into that one, if that is your real name.
Haley Cofford asked, will you make this available for audiobooks? Not this live stream. It's just not quite riveting enough to be released as an audiobook. But this novel is already available for pre-order as an audiobook. So, audible.com.
Courtney Shepler, are there characters based on your parents/family? That's a good question. At that point,
It's a little dicey.
It gets a
If you
lot
wanna do that.
less realistic. So, in the novel, Rex's parents own a funeral home. My parents never owned a funeral home. But in the novel, Leaf's mom is raising him as a single parent, which is actually the way that Link's life actually was. So, there are some things that are similar, but we really got pretty liberal in the differences with characters besides ourselves.
Savannah says, I can't buy the book. Please gelp. We'll gelp. Oh, have faith. You can get through. Live.bleakcreek.com. Speaking of Faith Rakvika bought a book.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you for buying a copy.
You can buy the copy anywhere you live on the planet. And we will personalize it.
Is that true? That is true.
You got to have faith.
Gotcha edits. Gotcha. Is this
All right.
book mystery? Because I love a mystery. It has some mysterious elements, but it's not a whodunit. I wouldn't say it was a classic whodunit.
Faith.
It's better than that.
Faith is a wonderful name.
Faith.
Gotta have it.
Just like you gotta have it, Faith. You got it. That sounds like a sales pitch, because she already has the book.
Yeah, she already has it. This is it right here. This is the one that Faith is gonna get. Right here. I'm signing it. What we decided to write in it will be
Maybe
in her
ask her a
copy.
question. Faith, did you have it when you bought it? Because now you got it.
What?
The book.
Not Faith.
She had faith when she bought it, and that got her the book. Make that work.
Faith in what? The
process.
The postal service.
No.
Go back to that.
She had to have faith that she would be picked randomly. And now that it happened, her faith has been restored.
Your faith has been rewarded.
Her faith has been rewarded.
Your
Monique Davis just placed her order. Thank you, Monique. Can't guarantee that you will be chosen, but you've got a chance. If you have faith, maybe you'll get one. What website do you order the book on? Animal Adventurer asks. That would be live.bleakcreek.com. Live.bleakcreek.com.
There you go. Faith. Your faith has been rewarded with this note.
The Mute Collector asked if the book was flavored. All right, you know what?
Ooh.
Let's wrap this all up. Send them back. It's got to be flavored. We've still got a week. We can do this.
That's a good idea.
I think you can take a book that's already printed and make it flavored.
Scratch and sniff.
You have to dip it in whatever flavor you want.
Maybe just scratch and sniff.
Okay.
I think certain parts of it would smell like urine. You know what I'm saying? Some of it would smell like barbecue, sweet smoked pig meat. Some of it would, is it taste or smell? Flavored. I'm just going to go with smells because I don't want you to actually eat it. I think, what's something else what's another scent that you'd get from a particular part of the book? This is like a teaser. Barbecue, urine.
You know when you step into
cow pies.
you step into a creek and you step into that like soft leaves and then like the nasty smell
like a marshy
of decaying plant matter comes up. That's in there. How about Lisalot Delgadillo? Lisalot Delgadillo, congratulations. You've won a personalized copy of The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek. Woo, what am I going to do with that name?
Licelot. The chat's moving fast. Let me see if I can pick one out. Hector Leon. Start crying right now. Oh, no. Let's see. Brittany said, my birthday is October 29th, and I was born in 1992. I feel I'm meant to have this book. You know what, Brittany? I feel you are meant to buy this book, too. Hesmora makes a comment that has nothing related to our novel, so I'm going to read it. Rhett, you'd love my house. I have 7 cats. Had a neighbor.
Are the cats present?
Had a neighbor who had a lot of cats.
I might like the floor plan. Here you go.
It's hard to get rid of that. Once you know that cats have been there, it's kind of like moving into a house where...
It's like going into a hotel room that says it's not a smoking room, but you're like, somebody broke the rules. Somebody smoked in here.
We hope you lice this book a lot.
I tried something.
Lisalot, I think is how it's pronounced. But put them at the bottom of your stack, because when we get to the bottom of that, we're gonna personalize them again.
we're gonna
Shauna
start over.
Wants to know, are we shipping internationally? Yes, we're shipping internationally. Live.bleakcreek.com. Buy one now, and maybe we'll personalize it. I got one just begging to be personalized right here.
The King BB says, how many pages are there? A lot of people do want to know how many pages are in a book, because that helps them make an informed decision.
Well, you know, Jimmy Fallon counted the pages, because on the back he said, I tore through all 324 pages of this book in one sitting, and I still didn't want it to end. I would have been willing to read as many as 325 pages, or possibly even 326. Though if I'm being totally honest, it probably could have stopped at 323. Either way, I loved this creative book. Jimmy Fallon.
That means that Jimmy Fallon did not get to the acknowledgments, because the story ends on page 324. The acknowledgments begin on 325. It's cool. You don't have to read the acknowledgments.
Brianna needs a nap, but is watching even though you can't get the book yet. Yeah, you can. Go order it. Live.bleakcreek.com.
Yeah, you want to have that book in hand? Okay.
Lillian almost forgot that we wrote a book.
Well, that's why we're doing this.
That's one of the many
you can
reasons.
almost remember that we wrote a book and then almost buy it. I mean, buy it.
Shannon Pierce asks, how does it feel to finally hold the book? There was something special about the moment that we opened up the final version, which we posted on our Instagram. You know, you take the cover off.
Well,
You got this like
be gentle, man.
you got this cover
That's gonna
here.
be somebody's book.
And then you got this part here, and it's like, oh, this is real. This is real.
And the process that goes into the book finally coming to you in this form, and then when you bite on it like that, you
That one's got some teeth
flavor it with
marks.
your mouth. It's a much longer process. So yeah, it feels good when you've been thinking about this and talking about it for almost 2 years, and then all of a sudden here it is. Look at that.
I'm putting a hidden message.
That's cool. Somebody named Ty, and now it's gone, asked a question about how did this, are you more nervous about this book than you were about the Book of Mythicality? And I will say, yes. It's one thing to write a book that is expected, you know, a book from our perspective. It's like, oh, you guys have been making videos on the internet. You can kind of talk about, you've been friends for a long time.
Didn't sign this one yet.
You've earned the right to talk about those things. But whenever somebody who does something like make a YouTube show says, hey, I wrote a novel, people are like, oh, yeah, right, you wrote a novel. And so you're kind of, you're trying to overcome people's expectations a lot of times. But I think that all you got to do is read it. All you got to do is read it and tell us what you think. But yeah, I'd say I'm very anxious to get people's response to it. And so is Jordan Emma House, because
Jordan, you get
they
the
are our
special
next
woo.
winner.
Jordan with a Y. Jordan. Jordan. That's how I say that. Jordan, didn't you what? Jordan, didn't you know that
You would be the one, or one of the ones, to get a personalized book.
Oh no, you Jordan.
No,
How about that?
Do that at the end. You do it twice. So I think it's like, Jordan, didn't you think that you would be one of the ones to get a personalized book? Oh no, you didn't. Love, Rhett and Link.
Jordan, you know you'd get a personalized
Okay, slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down.
personalized
Purple Banana, 3178.
book.
Are you planning on writing more novels? Love from Illinois. I love Illinois. Sure, yeah. We'd like to. This was a very fun process. We're very happy with the final product. We wrote the story in such a way that there's more story to be told if you want us to tell it. So, yes, every intention to keep writing.
Is that how you would spell Jordan? Jordan.
That's more like Jordant.
Read it to him. See, try it on for size.
Jordan, you know you'd get a personalized book. Oh, no, you didn't. I think there should have been another D and an N in there, but I think the joke is intact.
I'll put another D and an N back here.
Anaphora, just joining the chat. What is the book about? You know what?
You're late.
I'm gonna just for you, Anaphora. I'm gonna read the inside cover.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
You never know what you'll find when all is lost. It's 1992 in Bleak Creek, North Carolina, a sleepy little place with all the trappings of an ordinary southern town. 2 Baptist churches, friendly smiles coupled with silent judgments, and an unquenchable appetite for pork products. Beneath the town's cheerful facade, however, Bleak Creek teens live in constant fear of being sent to the Whitewood School, a local reformatory with a history of putting unruly youths back on the straight and narrow, a record so impeccable that almost everyone is willing to ignore the suspicious deaths that have occurred there over the past decade. At first, high school freshmen Rex McClendon and Leaf Nelson believe what they've been told, that the students' strange demises were all just tragic accidents. The unfortunate consequence of succumbing to vices like Marlboro Lights and Nirvana. But when the shoot for their low-budget horror masterpiece, Polterdog, goes horribly awry, and their best friend, Alicia Boykins, is sent to Whitewood as punishment, Rex and Leaf are forced to question everything they know about their unassuming hometown and its cherished school for delinquents. Ooh. Eager to rescue their friend, Rex and Leaf pair up with recent NYU Film School graduate Janine Blitzstein to begin piecing together the unsettling truth of the school and its mysterious founder, Wayne Whitewood. What they find will leave them battling an evil beyond their wildest imaginations, one that will shake Bleak Creek to its core. Core. That's what it's about, y'all.
Catalina, you get a personalized copy of the book. Read that.
Read that.
Write it. Write Catalina.
Catalina.
Catalina Esquivel gets a personalized copy. Sensi Boy 8932 asks, will it book? Yeah, I think it did. Mr. New asks, should I eat more meatloaf or no? We're really getting off topic, but that's a good question. Whenever I'm presented with meatloaf in a menu setting, it's hard for me not to order it. I don't know what it is about meatloaf. Even meatloaf on a sandwich, which is, there's already bread in a meatloaf. But I still order it. I'm fond of a meatloaf sandwich. Now, I would enjoy a sandwich where the bread was meatloaf. You know what I'm saying? Funds for hands. I don't know what that means. Have your kids read the book? Love from Ireland. Oh, it must be an Irish thing. Funds. Funds for hands. What could funds be that they're for hands? I don't know. It might not be appropriate. Let's not dwell on it. My daughter, Lily, read a preliminary copy of the book and gave some notes on it. Lincoln didn't read the book. Lando didn't read the book. My cousin Britton also read the book. Christy didn't read the book, but Jesse did read the book. But your kids did not read the book. And then everyone who read the book gave their own notes on the book, which is why they're thanked in the acknowledgments for the help that they gave.
Read. Can I leave it? Read that. Make it sound like her name.
Okay. Catalina, can I leave you a copy? Catalina? I categorically can leave you one. Catalina. I don't get it. Can I leave you a copy?
Catalina, can I leave you a copy? Can I leave you a copy? Catalina.
Can I leave you a copy, Catalina?
Can I leave you a copy, Catalina?
What?
That's a song. Can I leave you a copy, Catalina? It's when you're dropping off a book for Catalina. Sounds like something that Bill, what was his name? Bill, who sang the song about Spain? Bill
Barcelona?
Barcelona. Who sang Barcelona?
Oh my gosh, why are we forgetting his name?
Bill Newman,
man.
Bill Newman needs to write a song about Catalina.
Austin asks, is it fiction? Yes.
Cleared that up.
Amal Felamban asks, what's our favorite chapter in the book? Oh gosh, okay. I know what my favorite chapter is. I gotta find it.
I think you're gonna say chapter 6.
No.
Oh no, it's chapter. It's earlier than that. It's chapter 4. Chapter 4 is your favorite chapter.
I think chapter 4 is one. Why am I?
Kimberly W., if you had to sum the book up in one word, what would it be? Love from England.
Chapter 4 is my favorite chapter.
Well, because that's where your favorite scene is.
No. My favorite chapter right now. My favorite chapter is
Oh yeah, he said he leaned over and said nothing. He just moved his mouth.
I actually can't remember.
One word.
What chapter?
I think it's the
What
word that
chapter
we came
number
up
is it?
with that's scary and funny. Sunny. It's a very sunny book. Mythical. Mythical. That's the word that I would use. I don't know. You know, the great thing about it is you can't sum it up in one word. You can do it in about 80,000 words.
Chapter 20. Yeah, I was like, chapter 4. I know it ain't chapter 4. Right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think once you get to chapter 20, it's a whole new world. You know what I'm saying?
Some people still
a lot is
experiencing
revealed
problems.
in chapter 20. Can you read the first paragraph? I'll say in an upcoming Ear Biscuit, we read excerpts from the novel and then discuss those specific excerpts. So we're not, you just killed a fly. You know what? Close it in this book and then we'll ship it. We'll ship the dead fly to somebody.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's sign a book. Let's personalize a book with fly's blood, which is actually
That's
probably-
pretty cool.
It could be somebody's blood. Well, it's not a mosquito.
Is PETA going to say something about killing a fly?
At this point, we don't want to turn anybody against us. We're trying to sell books, Rhett.
But your idea to put this fly into this book and slam it shut and then give it to someone
The fly's already dead.
is well, I'm not sure if he is or not.
Well, let's revive him. Let's be the hero. Crystal says, I love you guys.
I'll just throw him in.
But I think she typed that before the discussion about the fly. I don't know how she feels about you now. Let's ask another question.
I want to personalize a copy for Veronica Quiones.
Oh, is this another Veronica?
Are you related to John Quiones from What Would You Do?
So we got
The
a
best
Laura,
television
we got a
show
Michael,
to ever
we got a
grace the
Drake.
airwaves.
got a Wyatt. Look, we can't repeat. We did the Wanaka thing. You remember that? That's
Yeah,
how I
that was-
remember
that was a
Veronica. I've signed all of these. We gotta go over to your stack.
Well, I've only got one more after this one.
Is that all we got, guys?
Veronica.
One more.
Okay.
I want to go with something with Quiones.
Tom Carver said, I have dishonored him and will pay with blood. What did I do? What did I do to you, Tom? I'm sorry, man. Let's work this out. Oh, man. Here we go. I'm trying to find a good question for y'all. Alicia May asks, how many books do we have left to sign? It looks like we have one. So we're gonna wait a little bit to sign that. We got 6 more minutes in this live stream.
Yes, sir.
This has been good quality time. So if we got one more to sign, I'm gonna sign it. I'm gonna get it started because it is going to Holden Robert Carlyle Farnsworth. That sounds almost made up, because just by just the sheer volume of names associated with this one person. Suspicious. Like if there were any 3 of those 4, Holden Robert Carlyle Farnsworth, I could buy it, but since it's all of them, all right, I'll go for it. I'm gonna bite.
This one's got a lot packed into it.
All right, so this one is just gonna be the names are gonna be packed into it.
Hold on, I missed all that. That's one person?
Holden Robert Carlyle Farnsworth.
I'm so impressed by that. This is kind of a deep cut into our high school experience here, and actually, there's an embedded joke. Okay, I'm going to plug a few things while Link is doing that. Remind you about the Bleak Creek Barbecue Bonanza. Now, in addition to having had the opportunity to get a personalized book today, which only a few people were able to pull off, and you know what? But everybody who we were planning on giving a book to, or at least the total number, we were able to do that, even though the site was down. But BleakCreek.com is not down for going over there and pre-ordering the book. You could also take any proof of purchase from any book that you have pre-ordered now and well into the past at any point, and also tickets to the Bleak Creek Conversations. You enter those at BleakCreek.com, and you could be entered for a chance to win a trip, an all-expenses-paid trip out to have a North Carolina-style pig picking with us in Los Angeles. We're going to pick 2 winners and their guests, all expenses paid, to come on out to enjoy that with us in Los Angeles. Again, that's pre-ordering the book from anywhere and then putting your proof of purchase in at BleakCreek.com. And also, Bleak Creek Conversations are happening next week. All that is at RHETT and Link, BleakCreek.com. You can go and get all the information there as well. But yeah, there are still tickets available for a few of those shows. Go over there, check them out, and you get a copy of the book with that ticket in and of itself. And then you get to see the documentary of us when we went back to Buish Creek that we're going to be screening at the Bleak Creek Conversations.
Thanks so much for your support. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And when you get this novel, boy, I have a feeling you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to want to buy a copy for your friends. So, yeah, rack up. We got plenty. We'll send them your way, along with our personal thanks and love. Thank you for being your mythical best. Enjoy the story. It's scary.
You know what? Share them with your friends that have no idea what Good Mythical Morning is, or have decided they don't want to watch 2 grown men eat animal testicles. They may just like to read. This is a good way to introduce them to the world of mythicality. Get them a copy of The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek.
Have a good day.